as it is said in the sutras, the principle is awakened to suddenly, and is forced in accordance with this awakening. Phenomena cannot be removed suddenly. They are brought to an end sequentially. For this reason, we think a profound explanation of the meaning of initial awakening followed by subsequent cultivation says, we may know that a frozen pond is entirely water, but the sun's heat is necessary to melt it. We may awaken to the fact that an ordinary person is the Buddha, but the power of Dharma is necessary for it to permeate our cultivation. When that pond's ice has melted, the water flows freely, and we can then use its efficacy for irrigation and cleaning. When delusion is extinguished, the mind will become luminous and dynamic, and its response will make manifest a function of penetrating illumination. This quotation should make it clear that the ability to manifest superpowers and transformations of form in the phenomenal sphere cannot be perfected in a day. They are made manifest through gradual cultivation. Good evening. In a Zen tradition of Buddhism, there is a famous story. One day, one of the disciples of Zen master asked his teacher, what is the Buddha nature? What is the Buddha nature? Then in a second, the Zen master replied, dung stick. Stick with a poop. Dung stick. And he stopped it. And what was funny was that his disciple was awakened to the Buddha nature. Does it make sense? Or it doesn't make sense at all to you? What do you expect? What kind of reply from the Zen master do you expect? Very profound explanation about what the Buddha nature is. But shockingly, his answer was just dung stick. When he asked his teacher about what the Buddha nature, his mind was filled with so many great ideas and explanations and theories and knowledges. And the power of a dung stick made his thinking mind stop it. Because dung stick doesn't make sense at all to his ego. So his ego cannot help but stopping thinking mind. And the moment he was awakened to his nature. That is the power of a dung stick. His teacher's sharp wisdom to make his thinking mind stop in a second. That moment is just second, but his disciple experienced split second of no mind. Like that, as this Dharma was said, principle can be awakened to suddenly, in a second. But the problem is, he's the same person still. The way he thinks, the way he feels, the way he acts, the way he deals with human affairs and other things is still same. It does not happen in a second. It doesn't happen suddenly. His karma, his patterns of a thinking, feeling, acting, his habit, still there. He's still same person. So here, Zen Master Jinul, he said, phenomena can be brought to an end sequentially, not suddenly. Some people said it's so difficult and looks impossible to awaken to the Buddha nature. But here, Master Pojo said that it can happen suddenly. But what matters is to change our own character, to transform ourselves, takes time, takes effort, because it takes place gradually, everyday effort and sincerity. Here's interesting story to compare of the Buddha and sentient beings. You know, ice and water. The element and material of these are same, H2O, right? Ice is H2O, water is H2O, but the element and materials are the same, but the condition and state is different. Can you drink ice? This bigger size ice, can you drink when you are, thirsty? Can you wash the dishes with ice? No. Same H2O, but it cannot be used. It should be melted. In order to melt the ice, we need sun's heat. Some intervention to make it ice usable for irrigation, cleaning, drinking, whatever. Like that, the nature of sentient beings and then Buddha's enlightened state of mind is the same. In terms of Buddha nature, our nature is the same as Buddha's nature. 그러면 소태산's nature. But our nature is 100% usable, workable now. For some reason, ordinary sentient beings' Buddha nature is frozen. Even though it's like a same H2O in water, but our Buddha nature looks frozen. Not work properly, efficiently, at the right time, at the right place. So what do we need? Here, Master Jinul's advice is, we need the power of Dharma. We need to rely on the Dharma and teachings. By relying on the enlightened one's teachings, and then their spiritual advice, and our own cultivation and effort, our delusions can be extinguished. By doing that, we can transform our own character from ignorance to wisdom, from hatred to love and compassion, from laziness to diligence, from selfish to selflessness. That is a total transformation. This was called a superpower. When people hear superpower, what they imagine is some kind of miracle, flying the sky, moving the mountains, and crossing the waters, the surface of the rivers. That is not superpower. Real superpower, authentic superpower is to transform the way we think, the way we feel, the way we act, to overcome ourselves, our own desires, and our unwholesome negative patterns of our doing. That is called superpower. That is truly transformation of our selves in the phenomenal world. And all the enlightened one's advice was this transformation to attain to this superpower cannot happen overnight, cannot happen suddenly. It takes time, it takes effort, because we have accumulated the power of karma. So we spend so many years to accumulate to make who we are right now. So if we need to transform ourselves, still we need time. So the third head Dharma master of Won-Buddhism, he said, as your sincere practice and cultivation continues sincerely for 10 years, then you will see, you should see how much you have transformed yourself. You will recognize yourself. You are a totally different person from before. You know it. If you continue to cultivate and practice sincerely for 20 years, then people around you will recognize how you have jumped in your spiritual character. And if you continue to practice sincerely for 30 years, then the world will recognize you. Then we can become kind of powerful to transform others. Other people will be inspired and impressed by who you are and who we are. And then I'm sure that the world will start to transform itself. So I will remind you that enlightenment can happen suddenly. But the phenomena cannot be changed suddenly, but gradually and subsequently. So please diligently continue to cultivate our
spirituality and